Hello traders, and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 50. It's been 50 consecutive weeks of posting the weekly outlook and setups, and I really hope you guys are appreciating it, you're finding it valuable, and most importantly, you are learning something from it, because this is what I'm about, providing you value and knowledge that you can use into your own trading. So also, we just hit 4K subscribers on the channel, which I'm extremely grateful for. And this is why on this video, we're gonna host a little giveaway. I'm gonna pick 2 lucky winners that are going to win monthly access to my courses and to the community and everything I offer. So what you simply have to do is like this video and comment below why you want to win. What do you like about this strategy? What do you like about myself and my way of trading? And how does this trading style appeal to you? Or how do I differentiate from the others? Something like this that will, for example, catch my eye and I would say, yo, this guy is gonna be the winner. But I will probably take it on a random principle, so we will see. So as always, you know, we are gonna have a look at the market, how it developed, what opportunities did we have, and what can we expect for the upcoming week. It was actually a pretty choppy week. To be honest, I didn't take any trades this week, which I'm kind of happy about, because there was a lot of consolidation, a lot of choppiness, and if you're not trading the 5 minutes, you are really hardly going to get any nice trading setups. So we're gonna get started, but first I need to say that this video is sponsored by Crypto Rocket. It's an amazing broker, especially for crypto, but it has all the 56 forex currency pairs. The withdrawals are extremely fast, the spread is low, and the commissions are super low. So consider checking it out. Link will be down in the description. And if you already did, let's see what do we have for the week ahead. As always, guys, starting from the DXY, our best friend, to have a look where the dollar is headed and what can we expect on the other pairs as well. So as you can see, this weekly candle has closed with a rejection to the downside, but I believe we are going to have some further bearish pressure to the downside. This candle at one period of time was looking like a bearish engulf. However, we fulfilled a daily low. It was actually a gap as well, which I'm going to show you. And then the week closed a little bit bullish. So if we drop to the daily time frame, you are going to see the market opened just right here. We started with a massive selling pressure, then we continued down, a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of rejection, but then we tapped into this low, and the last 2 days have been slightly bullish. So is this bullishness a pullback for a lower high in order for the market to continue pushing down and create a new wave to the downside? We shall see, because overall, if you have a look, the dollar is consolidating. We have structural resistance, structural support, so we have to wait for a clear wave and a break in the retest in order to say, okay, we are finally getting out of that consolidation. So as you can see, this was the low, this was the gap. It was perfectly filled. Up until that time, we had price push down, pull back, push down, pull back, lower high, lower low. But then as you can see, and we actually spotted this, the market created this lower high just right here. We were looking for shorts. The market attempted to push down, but tapped into that area, left a huge wick and a massive bullish engulf. So from this point on, the previous lower high was broken. What can we expect is a retest back. Here is your retest right here. And actually we ended up quite bullish, pushing the euro up, down. And we actually had a little opportunity on euro and euro JPY, which I'm going to show you. So dollar, guys, for now on the 4-hourly time frame, it is bullish. From the daily time frame, we can expect this to hold as a lower high, and if we are going to have a downwards push. So let's see how I would analyze this from 4-hourly time frame. I can see that all the structure to the left was broken. So I'm gonna introduce this little zone right here, and I would wait for the market to pull me back into it. I have a little Fibonacci level here as well. As you can see, 61% area. So if the market does this, rejects, then we might expect a further push up. But if the market starts to create bearish structure, you can see I'm constantly changing my bias. If I tell you this doesn't mean that on Monday I will not change my bias if the structure is changing. You see, up until that point we were bearish. However, when we had a break above and a retest, I immediately turned bullish. So you definitely have to learn how to adapt to the market. So for now, keeping it short and simple, I'm looking for bulls on the DXY, but I do not exclude the possibility of the market pulling down, pulling back up to create a lower high, and then going to the downside. Euro USD weekly time frame, same price action. At one point in time, this was looking like a strong bullish engulf, and we finally thought, oh, we are breaking out. However, the market actually left the big wick. So I think this big wick is going to get filled at the beginning of the week, potentially to create another one. And from this point on, we have to see if the market is going to continue to carry up, or we're going to reject to the downside, leaving a little wick here to the upside. So let's see what happens. If I go back to the daily time frame, we can see that the market is still in this consolidation, which is pretty clear from the daily. We have our resistance level right here, and we have our supportive level just right here. Simply breaking down the daily time frame, we're jumping bouncing from support and resistance. As you can see, the market opened extremely bullish, massive bullishness, then consolidation, a little bit of rejection, then that rejection got filled straight into the resistance level, a little bit of slowdown, and actually the last day we had that little opportunity which developed a little bit later in the evening. For me personally, I would say it was roughly around there. So what we saw on that one was a strong explosion to the upside. So after that explosion, I was waiting for more pullback. However, the market just pulled back right here, which was actually a higher high. We created a new higher high straight after the previous higher high, which I really don't like, because I always wait for bigger retracements, at least to the 38.2. We continued up again to create a higher high. We pulled back down again, not clear, and then we straight pushed into that resistance area and 1.10. So from that point on, I said I am not buying this market. It was too high. I just introduced that trend line, something like this, and I waited for the break. We had the break, we had the retest, and actually this was retesting an hourly level, which I'm going to show you right now. Here it is. Massive push to the downside, pullback. We have a Fibonacci level here as well, as you can see, 38.2, my minimal retracement level, wick. And if I go to the 15 minutes, we actually had a beautiful setup. If you didn't get at the top, then the market broke and retested previous structure. We climbed up a little bit, creating this corrective pattern and multiple opportunities to enter, but it was not trading time for me. As you can see, 2 o'clock in the evening. First entry right here. After the break, we have a retest with a corrective pattern. Then we have a break of the corrective pattern and a retest of it. So multiple opportunities. And this was actually the only opportunity I saw on EU. So getting back into it, what do I expect on this one? So from the daily time frame, we are still in this consolidation. We have a push and a pullback, so we can expect a push up. However, as you know, my main time frame is the 4 hourly for intraday trading. So what I would expect in that one is for it to pull back, to create a potential lower high formation, to show me some rejections around that area, and then I will be looking for shorts. Potential of Fibonacci level as well, 38.250, 61.8, waiting for the pullback, and then we can potentially go down to fulfill the lows again of the consolidation and see how we are going to react from it. So again, EU, make sure to keep with the flow and follow the market structure. EJ weekly time frame, keeping it short and simple because it's similar to EU. We had that strong bullish candle which found a rejection from the top, so actually the weekly candle is bullish. However, we have a little rejection on top, which could be worrying. However, on the daily time frame, you can see this downtrend was actually invalidated because after we pulled back, this is very important, guys, for you to spot. A little tip from me: when the market creates a lower high, we expect the market to create a lower low, right? However, this market pushed down and started to reject. 1 day, 2 days of rejection, and on the third day, actually on Monday, we exploded to the upside, meaning that we have created a new high. This lower high did not hold, and we are actually reversing to the upside. So I can even introduce a little trend line like this. And if I go to the 4 hourly time frame, so we have our overall bias for the daily, which is bullish. We have that broken daily structure right here, which actually could be a retest. And we can even drop a little Fibonacci level, which is perfectly aligning with this. However, from 4 hourly perspective, I saw this again, beautiful opportunity on EJ as well. After the break and the retest of this kind of structure, we came back, retested, then we pushed down to create a lower low, and then we come back again to test for another lower high. Beautiful setup. And if I go to the 15 minute, here's your trade. We have that corrective pattern as well, breakout, not a real retest, but you could have gotten on the breakout as well. So what I expect on this one, if the bulls are going to take control, I want to see new structure create right here. So I want to see a push up, a push back down, the market failing to continue lower, and then the market's starting to show me some bullish signs from right here, and then I can expect the market to push up to break that high, and from then we can expect a bullish week to the upside. However, so far we have a push to the downside. I can expect a lower high. From that lower high, I will sell with a maximum take profit at the lows right here, because if this low holds, then we may be about to form a double bottom formation and reverse to the upside. However, if this low breaks, then we can continue to sell further. So very important, guys, to monitor how the market is going to open, if we're going to have that pullback retest of structure levels right here, or are we going to reverse to the upside. For now, I'm sell bias on the 4 hourly, but keep in mind that the daily is turning bullish. Aussie USD started this week in a very aggressive manner. As you can see, the weekly time frame just opened and started to push up. We actually tried to break the highs from the weekly time frame, but we left the wick. So this wick still signifies selling pressure, but this wick actually creates a higher low on the daily, as you can see, this little pullback. So the market opened right here, 18th of May, straight push into the highs. Then we rejected, then we started to consolidate again, leaving us with no trading opportunities. And if we have a look at the daily, guys, again, pay attention, we had that higher low. Then the market came down, didn't quite test the low right here, but almost created an equal higher low. And we didn't break it. So still, the daily structure is bullish. And this is our higher time frame analysis. However, if I go down to the 4 hours, here was potential short opportunity, because you see the market created a high. It stepped down a little bit to create a lower high. Then we tried to break, then we broke, but didn't have a retest. So for now, I am looking for sells from the 4 hourly time frame. However, I think that this might be just the little pullback in order for the market to explode up again, because you can see the previous week we had this beautiful sell bias structure, but then we just exploded to the upside, didn't come for a retest, and maybe this is the retest right now. So I will just follow the structure. Right now it looks perfectly for sales, because I have this rejection right here. If I have one more, I would be willing to sell this market immediately if this was a live market right now, and maybe if it was Tuesday. However, on Monday, I will let the market play out. I will just draw a little area that I'm interested in. Right, this one, if the market is going to pull back into it, provide me with another push to the downside, potentially to that daily FIP that we might look for, something like this. It actually tapping 50%, 61.8%. So let's see. But for longs, again, as I told you on the example with EJ, I want to see the market shift and change. So I want to see a push to the upside, pullback, double bottom, break in the retest, and then I'm gonna go long. Aussie JPY, similar situation. We opened in a very bullish manner. The weekly candle is leaving a little wick, which actually creates a higher low from the daily time frame. We have this uptrend. The market broke above the highs. It created a beautiful higher low. So still, the higher time frame is bullish. So overall, we can be looking for buys for the longer term. However, price is bearish for now. So we have this beautiful retest area right here, which is a little bit low. But if I draw a FIP, I believe it's roughly around 61.8. Yeah, almost. So what we can see on this market, there was a beautiful short opportunity right here as well. Double top formation, tried to break, retested for a lower high. And if you could have gotten in there, if you saw that corrective pattern right here, and if you drop down to the 15 minutes to identify the entry pattern, which actually did not develop, to be honest, then you could have gotten into a short. However, right now we are shifting to the downside. If you have a look at the 4 hourly, it's bearish because we're creating a low, lower high, lower low, currently pulling back for a lower high. So what I want to see is how the market is going to hold in and around this kind of areas right here, similar to AU, this kind of structure. If we come back here to reject, then I will be looking for shorts into the lows right here. And then from the lows, I will be looking for buys, having a look at the daily time frame. So let's see how this one develops. It might explode again to the upside on market open. So make sure to stay in the flow with price action. For now on the 4 hourly, I'm looking for sales, for intraday sales, but overall I will be looking for buys. NZD/USD weekly time frame, very messy price action on that one. So we opened again in a very bullish manner, then we started to reject from the top, nothing to extract from the weekly time frame. If I go to the daily time frame, we can immediately spot that price is currently sitting at a very strong daily, I would say, demand area, because every time price taps into it, it creates a downtrend. Not a downtrend, maybe a 4 hourly downtrend, but a push to the downside on the daily. The second time we tapped, we actually created a lower low, which was quite major, and I thought we are going down. But this week the market opened again, as all the pairs did, massive bullish pressure and went straight into the highs. So this structure has broken the lows, which actually tells me a little bit about it, that the sellers are more. However, as you can see on market open, we just broke the highs. We just broke the lower highs, never came back for a retest, carried on to the upside, stopped for a little bit right here. I waited for the pullback, which never occurred. We pushed into the highs and then we started to consolidate. So pretty unclear price action. So I will keep that potential area right here for a retest. And if I zoom in, actually, it's very hard to break structure right here. I can see that we had a lower low. We pulled back for a lower high, but you really have to zoom in order to spot those setups and to try to get a trade. And you have to be monitoring the 15-minute. As you can see right here, this double top, but there were plenty of wicks. I really hated the price action on this one, so I didn't even have a look for trades on that one. So what I'm looking for on the NU is for the market to pull back into this structure, to reject, and then potentially give me a pull down. This is what I'm looking at most of the pairs, AU, AJ, NU, and potentially NJ. However, let's see if it happens, because the market has been distributing right here, this ugly consolidation. So maybe we are about to have a large move at the beginning of the week, or maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. So let's see what happens. I don't have a clear bias on that one yet, because I don't have clear structure. We just have a strong push down, a strong push up, which basically means jumping from support and resistance. So consolidation. Let's see what happens at the beginning of the week. I will be waiting at that level, pullback, retest, lower high, then we might get a short. NJ, exactly the same, keeping it very simple. We have a strong weekly bullish candle dropping down to the daily time frame. Here we actually broke the highs, so it looks more buy bias than sell bias. You can see they're not exactly the same, NU and NJ, because on NU we had a beautiful lower low, while right here we actually held and we broke the highs, which is pretty important. We still have that strong demand area right here that we can be cautious of. And if I drop down to the 4-hourly time frame, actually here the structure has presented itself in a more beautiful manner. We have that highs right here. The market pulled away, trying to create a higher high, then tried to push up, failed. Massive bearish engulf to indicate that the sellers are coming in. Beautiful pullback for a lower high on the hourly, potential trading opportunity right here. And then we continue to carry on to the downside. So what I will be looking on this one, I can see that it's slightly starting to shift from the 4-hourly time frame. So maybe I can try to get into a short and trade it to the downside as a daily pullback, because as you can see, the daily just created a higher high. So I would expect at least a 50% pullback, or at least a 38.2, which hasn't been fulfilled yet. So I think we have a little bit of a space to take a short, but this will only happen if price pulls back, rejects right here to show me that there are sellers, shifts on the hourly time frame, and then gives me the entry on the 15-minute. I have a lot of rules to follow, which is what I love about my approach. And if they don't if they don't show itself, then I'm not taking a trade. So that's NJ, waiting for more clear price action to develop and potentially lower high for a short. Having a look at UJ weekly time frame, not very clear price action. It looks like the bears are prevailing this market. We had a wick that was perfectly filled, and now we have another wick, so maybe the market will push up a little bit in the beginning of the week, and then maybe we might reverse to the downside. We shall see. From daily time frame, we had so the market opened right here. We had a strong push to the upside, then wick. So nothing clear to trade on that one. If I go to the 4-hourly time frame, the market opened right here. It wasn't really clear what it was going to do. Then we had a strong push up. Then we had that double top right here and a break of it. So potentially, I think somebody took shorts from right here. Let me see if... Yeah, I think somebody took shorts from that one on the 15-minute. As you can see, the market broke below that hourly level, and the 4-hourly level tap, failing to break above. And then we pushed for a few pips, but then the market immediately started to push up. Very choppy market. So what I'm expecting on that one, guys, again, trying to break down the structure in a very clear manner, because it's not clear, and trying to keep it super simple. The last major structure that I will look at is this lower high. And the structure to the downside that I will be looking at is this big wick area right here. So I don't want to keep it that big, but I don't have an average of wicks to take. So this will be what I will be monitoring. And I want to see where the market is going to break, either to the upside with a retest or to the downside with a retest. That's UJ. I don't have any clear bias for now. Like the overall, if you have a look at the overall price action, is going up. However, what I love doing is to look at the market from the right to the left. What is it doing now? What is it doing now? It's starting to fall to the downside. So it depends if you're going to have a break to the upside of the previous lower high, a retest to go long, or if the market is going to decline, we're gonna have a break and a retest to the downside. So let's be patient and let's see what happens. USD-CAD weekly time frame, it was clear this week on UCAD if you trade the hourly time frame, for example, very intraday, because from the weekly time frame we see a push to the downside and a rejection. So I think this week is gonna get filled, so potentially we can expect some sellers coming in. And if I drop to the daily time frame, what I can see is that the market is overall descending to the downside, however in a triangular manner, because if I drop this daily level right here and if I drop this trend line, we see we have a strong support and we have descending market. So overall, I don't trade such formations, and I'm not sure what is the outcome of this one, but what I will do is I will just flow with the market. So the opportunities on this one this week were actually in this consolidation area. So what I spotted on this one, I was planning even to create a video on it, but I didn't take the trade, and this is why I didn't, was this lower high. So the market created a lower high right here, strongly pushed down to create a lower low, then we came back up again, rejected. So by the time I was analyzing the market, it was right here, and I said I wanted to see the price pump up a little bit and reject, which did exactly this. And we had a little hourly level that I'm going to show you right now. Here it is, that hourly level, and we actually had a break and a retest of it. So how you enter, there are two scenarios. First one is on that immediate pullback right here on the 15 minutes. Here it is, break and a retest, beautiful 1, 2, 3 formation right here and a massive flush to the downside. The second one, price comes back in here again for a clear pullback. Those are immediate, those are clear. Again, difference, a little tip from me. And then we push down, but then again, we started to consolidate. And actually we had another setup on that one from the hourly time frame. As we just followed the structure, we saw that the market was starting to push to the upside. It failed to break below, right here, double bottom, pushed up, pulled back, again, potential higher low. This is what I thought at this moment in time. And then what we had is a break of the structure and a retest right here of the structure. If I go to the 15 minutes time frame, it wasn't clear. This is why I didn't take a trade right here. I was looking for that break of this descending triangle or just the counter trend line, but when it exploded, it just exploded, so it left without me, and I didn't take a trade on that one. So how I'm looking at this market, we saw that from the daily time frame, it's looking overall bearish. However, what I want to see for a bearish perspective is for the market to pull back, to fail to break above, to give me a nice push to the downside, to come back for a retest, to test that broken structure, and then I will be looking for sales. As for now, the market is pushing strongly up. It's breaking structure. So if it starts to form a higher low right here and I have my hourly and 15-minute setup, I will be taking a long. However, again, remember from the daily time frame that we might be about to reverse. However, I stick to my full hourly and I will be looking for buys if I see a confirmed higher low. USD Swiss franc, extremely ridiculous pair. So from the weekly time frame, we have plenty of wicks right here, and this weekly candle is like a hammer or a pin bar, whatever it is, but it tells me nothing, so it's indecision. If we drop down to the daily time frame, we can see again consolidation, but it's not that clear consolidation, because you can see the last weeks right here are actually pretty choppy. So we can see on 20th of May, we had that strong impulse move to the downside, and I said, okay, we are reversing, and I even looked for a short. If I drop down to the hourly time frame, to the full hourly time frame, we had a strong push to the downside, breaking below all the structure on the left. While at the beginning of the week, we had those ugly candles right here, massive wicks. So I was just saying, no, I'm not gonna touch this. However, when we had that impulse and I saw that pullback, it was just around here. Two wicks, this is all I look for. Then I dropped to the hourly time frame, but as you can see, the hourly time frame never showed me bears. There was this bearish candle that could have gotten me into an entry potentially, but I didn't get my 15 minutes confirmation right here, so I did not get into a trade. So and then the market just reversed back into the consolidation. So USD Swiss, extremely messy price action. If I just follow the momentum, I can see that the momentum is up. So maybe if we have a pullback for a clear higher low with clear rejections to indicate that the market is holding, then I potentially can take a buy. But I will just step away from this market because it hasn't been behaving nice. You can see it pushes down, then it reverses up, pushes down, reverses up. It's not behaving nicely. What this means that we just scrap the pair until we start seeing some clear trend, right? So let's see what happens. Overall, I will be looking for buys, but overall as well, I will not be touching this pair until I see something clear. All right, let's have a look at the GBPs, starting with GU. So what do we have right here? The previous week we had a strong bearish candle and we thought that the price is gonna plummet. However, it actually pulled back to leave a wick, which is fine. So from weekly time frame we can remain sell bias, and from the daily time frame we actually have a push, a pullback, final break of this daily level, and we actually came back for a perfect retest, because you can see body to wick, break, retest, body to wick. It actually, this level, what is that level? 22,500, I think. Yeah, roughly around there, 22,500. And we actually are not right now are pulling away from that level. So overall, the higher time frame picture tells me sells, and even the full hourly picture tells me sells. We pulled back strongly into the highs. We started to consolidate right here, but I can see that we broke below this kind of structure. Those wicks right here were broken. Retested again with a clear retest, immediate clear retest. Then we pushed to the downside, breaking below the previous lows, creating a lower low. What we can expect is for the market to pull back, to create another lower high, potentially at a Fibonacci level right here. And then we can expect to fulfill the lows right here of price action, which is roughly the 62% extension. So this is what I will be looking on GU. Very simple analysis. All the time frames are pointing down, so I would try to get that pullback on the 4 hourly time frame and then have a short. Again, I do not exclude the possibilities of the market reversing up, because we don't know what to expect in this market. It's more fundamentally driven than technically, so we should be very careful. However, from technical perspective, short bias. Going to GJ, similar structure. From the weekly time frame, we had that weekly pullback with a wick on top. If I go to the daily time frame, we are perfectly trading down. Yeah, we started that downtrend even from here, 14th of April, push down, pull back, lower high, lower low, lower high. 2 wicks right here to indicate selling pressure, and we actually had a little bit of a sell-off at the end of the week. We climbed up strongly. The market opened right here again, massive explosion to the upside. This was just ridiculous to see the market pushed like this in a very strong manner. Then we pulled back to retest the broken structure, but I didn't see too much buyers come in. We just had a bullish engulf, and then the market started to consolidate. So I said, maybe we're not going up, and we actually ended up having a short. So last structure right here, lower high, strong break below, staying below, creating a lower low. What I want to see is for the market to pull back, to make a new lower high, leave me some rejections on the 4 hourly, and then I can wait for a continuation down. Daily time frame is looking short as well. Nothing to tell me that buyers are coming in. Weekly is short as well, so I believe we are safe to take shorts if we see the setup, if this trend still holds, something like this, and we don't have any buyer pressure, or just buyer stepping into the market and breaking structure. So that's GJ, looking for shorts. GA, so I don't trade this pair because it doesn't work good with my strategy. So from weekly time frame, if I have a look, it's been trending down. We had this strong push up. Now it's been just sliding to the downside, and I believe this is nice for swing traders as well, because it creates a nice push, pullbacks, although just with 2 candles, it's nice. Strong push down, pull back again, lower high, lower low. What we can expect, if we just follow that pattern, we can expect to pull back right now. So from volume perspective, the market opens right here with that gap. We didn't feel the gap, and we started to slide to the downside. Push, pull back, lower high, lower low. I tried to make a lower high right here, but failed, and actually shifted up a little bit, because I always look into the details, guys. If we can see right here, this was where price attempted to create a lower high, but we broke above, we retested, and we actually pushed up, creating a new higher high. However, overall, it's still down. What I would love to see on this market is for another break of the lows, because it just created a lower high, potentially. And if it breaks below, then I can wait for a retest and continuation. The second scenario is for the market to come back into the highs to create an equal lower high, or just a double top. And then I can be looking for sells as well. We can see on the hourly, we had the double top. We can wait for break and a retest as well. But from experience, I know this pair doesn't work too well with my structural approach and with my entry approach, especially because it's creating a lot of wicks. And sometimes when I get into a trade, I can get stopped out with a wick because I use tight stop losses most of the times. And this pair hasn't been working good for me. But overall, I am looking for sells, as I am on all of the GBP pairs. And finally, if I have a look at Euro GBP, this is another pair that I don't trade. Oh, actually I have my analysis from the previous week. Let's see what happens. So I had that fib, which actually we should have adjusted. 38.2 and 50% area, price pulled back right here. I believe we were looking for longs, and actually the bias was long. We pulled back, nothing much of a rejection, straight bullish engulf. We came back to create an equal higher low, just right here. Equal higher low, another wick. Then we could have gotten right here potentially on the hourly time frame. We pushed up to create a higher high, but right now I can see that there is a break of structure and the market ended up consolidating. So if I check the weekly time frame again, oh, this is a beautiful wick. Actually, all the people are going a short right now because it looks like a push pullback, rejection, and potential evening star formation. Daily time frame, the structure is still up, bullish. A little area is being created on the daily right here. So I'm analyzing this market very freshly right now. And yeah, so right now it's consolidating. What I want to see is how the market holds above and below those two average levels right here. Because if I drop to the hourly time frame, this will be a consolidation, not one of the clearest. However, how I will be trading this market is I will wait for Monday to develop, for London session to develop, to show me where the GBP wants to go. Because if if GU, GJ, GA push to the downside, this will push up. So I will have a strong push to the upside. And if I have this strong push to the upside, guess what I will do is I will trade that immediate pullback first to take a long. Then when the market pushes up, I will wait for the clear pullback and then I will take a long position. So this is my forecast for it. I will just wait for a break below, retest, continuation, or a break above, retest, and continuation. And that is for the GBPs. Let's have a look at gold's weekly time frame. So we have a little indecision candle from the weekly time frame. Price is at the top from the weekly push. So we might expect a little bit of a pullback for a higher low from the weekly time frame. So dropping down to the daily time frame, what we can see, we had a strong push up, pullback, push up, little bit of a consolidation, which actually looked like a triangular formation. Are we coming back for a retest? Well, we don't know. Actually, gold more works with the higher time frame analysis, because when I drop to the 4-hourly time frame right now, you can have numerous zones, numerous levels, and it actually gets very, very confusing. And this is why I don't trade gold usually, especially now during the times in which everything is uncertain. You don't know where the market will open, you don't know where it will go. Technicals are not that well respected, so just be careful with gold because it's more fundamentally driven right now. What we can see though is that the market pushed down, pulled back up, failed to create a high higher than this one. Wick, a lot of wicks, some selling pressure right here, potentially a 15-minute entry. We push down to create a lower low, and right now we're back at it to create a lower high. So from 4-hourly perspective, I can look for shorts. However, again, I am not a master of gold because it usually loves the higher time frame analysis. And just looking at it now, nothing is clear for me. So from 4-hourly perspective, I will be looking for shorts. Gold, usually another tip from me, it works amazing with breakout trading as well. It doesn't come back for a clear retest to leave all of my clear signs, which I used to trade. This is why I don't trade it. Actually, a little tip from me, it works beautifully with breakout trading. So as you can see, this double top right here is massive break above, no retest. Here we have that high, break above, quick retest, then we continue up. And you can just test that out. You can see how it works for you and maybe you can adapt to that strategy. So for gold, I will be looking for shorts with my analysis. Don't take it as I told you, I'm not completely confident with gold because there are a lot of things to look at, and most importantly, it is fundamentally driven. So let's see what happens on gold. Maybe if we have a break in a retest of that trend line, another lower high, then we might take shorts, or if the market holds below this level, we can take a short as well. Wrapping up the video with a few indices starting from US 30. So from the weekly time frame, we can see that we had a strong push to the downside, the crash, and right now we're having the pullback. So all of this is fundamentally driven again. So what technicals at that point don't do a great job. So we have that strong demand area right here where the price tapped into actually 25.0. Yeah, just a few pips below 25. And right now we are consolidating from the daily time frame. So if I go to my intraday time frame, the market opens right here with a straight push to the upside. We came back for a little pullback, but the market then failed to break above, creating this consolidation area. So how I would trade this pair is if I break above, retest continuation, or break below, retest continuation. Again, this largely depends on the stock prices and how those companies are doing. So let's monitor, let's see. Again, I am not trading this one. I am just trying to guess how it moves. Does it respect structure? Does it respect fundamentals? Does it respect higher time frame analysis? But right now, as I told you, in those uncertain times, actually only fundamentals work. So from technical perspective, breaking the retest of that consolidation area. And have a look at the at Nasdaq. So we can see that it already recovered at the high of the crash, which is pretty significant actually. Daily time frame, it has been trending up quite some well. I can see a little detail right here, oops, is that it's respecting my EMA to perfection on the daily time frame. So again, stocks tend to respect higher time frame analysis rather than intraday, because if you go to the intraday time frame, it still works, but it tends to shift because overall stocks trade to the upside. And if you try to take a short, for example, right here, your short will be very short-lived, because when the market taps into the higher time frame EMA or SMA, it's gonna push up and create a higher high, right? So from this point on, I can see that the market pushed into the previous higher low, failed to break below, currently pushing up. I have my higher high as well, so I want to see if the market is going to break above and come back for the retest. So those are my two major areas that I will be looking for something to happen, and this is how I'm going to analyze Nasdaq. So that's for today, guys. I really hope you appreciate the video, you found something helpful from it. I'm a bit sad that I didn't take any trades this week in order to show you and to provide more value, but next week I really hope that the market will be clearer with some nice trading opportunities, and so we can finally get into the market. So again, thank you for watching up until now. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure to comment down below in order to win the monthly access, and as well make sure to check my signal provider partner, Trading and Co Trading. The link will be down in the description. I can testify for their signals, so if you're looking for signal service, make sure to check them out. Go try them out as well. Their prices are super low and you will definitely not regret it. So thank you for staying up until now. I really appreciate it, guys, and see you on my next video.